Welcome back. Thank you. I've been your day. I hope you did some practicing. Now we're going to continue from where we stopped. This was where we stopped in the last class. So this is how to draw your box. The next thing we're going to draw is cylinder, right? We're going to draw the cylinder. So now I'll just come to my primitive, click on cylinder. It will ask me to specify center, right? I want to try and draw all of them within the same area so that when we're using the visual styles, you'll notice the difference. So I'll just come here and click. The way we draw, it starts from the principle of drawing a circle. Now it's asking me to specify radius. Let me just put radius of 40, enter. Now it's asking me for height. I'll put, now so that I don't have the same challenge I had in last class, I'll move my mouse upward so that it doesn't draw it in the opposite direction. So this time I'll put let's see, I'll put, let me put 200, enter. So now this is cylinder. Now, let's do the first, let's play with our visual control. It's in Southwest isometry now. Now, if I click here, let's take it to top. This is how we're going to see it as planned. Now, so that we'll see it clearly, I'm going to first of all come to our visual styles. Let me change the visual style to conceptual, right? That's conceptual. Now let me change again from to left. Okay, let's change to bottom. You see the way it's turning around, you see it bottom, now you cannot see the box on top. Now, let's look at it from left, right? So let's look at it from right. Cut it from the front. Now let's look at it from the back. Fine. Now let's take it to, now from 2011 upwards, that's when sketchy and x-ray was brought into the visual style. So x-ray, you can see through by x-ray, just like a normal x-ray. Then sketchy, as if it's drawn with hand. Let me take it to Southwest isometry so that you see as if it was drawn with hand, right? Now, let's go to realistic view. So you can play with that in your own free time. But observe this, when you need to start your drawing, for two reasons. One, for visibility, and two, in order not to stress your system, your computer, because your graphic, your RAM will start to struggle. For those of us that don't have a good RAM or that have a low RAM, your system will start to struggle. Instead of moving at a pace, you start struggling. So whenever you need to draw, you take it back to 2D wireframe. That's why I tell you, you always have to. Now, see, I've taken it to Southwest isometry and I'm in 2D wireframe. But because I've been changing from different views, I went to plan, I went to side elevation and all that. Now, if you look at my user coordinate now, you're seeing that my user coordinate, the orientation has changed. That's why I tell you, you always look at that. Now, in order to do this, when we started this drawing, we were in what we call word coordinate system. Now go to the ribbon, you see coordinate in the ribbon. If you go to the extreme right of the ribbon, you see what the globe. Once you click on it, it will take you back to the word coordinate system. With your X and Y at the horizontal plane and your Z protruding up, that is your word coordinate system. There will come a time where we'll change our coordinate system. Now our command line is empty. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to draw our cone, right? We're going to draw the cone. So if I select cone, it will ask me, it still starts with the orientation of a circle. So I'm coming, make sure your object snap is on. I'll come out to draw the cone on top of this. You see, the object snap is showing me that that's the center of the circle up. I'll click. Now it's asking me for radius. Now I'm going to use the radius that I used before for the circle. So it was 40, enter. Now it's asking me for height, right? It's asking me for height. Now I have to be careful now. If I want it protruding up, I'll move my mouse up to be upwards before I either type enter to still use the value I used for the circle, I mean for the cylinder, or I'll put a new value. So this time, let me put 100, 100, enter. So that we just stop at that tip. Now, let's look at it. In engineering, I'm just showing you the basic primitives now. But you see, when you're drawing your funnel, you can actually use cylinder and cone tools to draw your funnel, right? So let me just draw that by the side to emphasize what I want to do. So now I'll come cylinder, I'll just click anywhere. Then let me take a radius of 20, enter, height of 100, enter. Now I'll come to cone. Cone, I'll pick the center here, click, radius should still be the same 20. Then this time, I want to change my top radius. You know, funnel, the top is wider. So I'll type T, enter. It's giving me opportunity to change my top radius. So if I move my mouse, you see the top radius is becoming wider. So this time, my top radius, I'll put, let's see, that was 20 for that. So I want it wider. So will 40 do me good? Okay, let's put 40. Okay. Wow. Then my height, this my funnel is not wide enough. It's not wide enough, but not to worry. Let's not worry. Let's just take a height of 100. Enter. Now, I want to increase. I'll right click select, then right click and come to property. I'll come to my top radius. I'm going to change my top radius to 60. Is that wide enough? Nah. Let's make it wider. I'll change it to 100. Aha, that looks more like it. That looks more like it. Now, let's look at it realistically now, so that you see that is kind of a funnel, right? So you can make the top radius smaller or even bigger, right? That's another way. Let's take it back to 2D wireframe. If I click on cone, let me just click. I want to make the base radius bigger than the top radius. My base radius now is asking me to base radius. Let me put I'll put 100. Enter for base radius. Then I'll type T, enter for my top radius. My top radius now, I'm going to put 20. 20, enter. Then the height, I'll put 200. You can see my top radius is now smaller than the base radius. But ironically, you can go to properties and also change them, because I can select it. And you know, I told us that is what we call editing by property. I want to edit my drawing, but I can do it by editing the properties of what I've drawn. So let's continue. The next thing we're going to draw is a sphere, right? Now, if I select sphere, let me come and put it on top here. Sphere, like a ball. We want to draw a ball. Okay, this is looking more like the World Cup now, close to it. No, not, I'm just teasing. Now, let's give this sphere 100. It's asking me for sphere radius 100, enter. Now let's look at this realistically. Wow, you can see what we've been drawing, right? Now, while you are drawing and you want to see the part, you don't want to you don't want to go to your visual controls to do that plan, but you don't want to rotate it around a little. What you need to do, you come to your navigation bar. Your navigation bar, you click, you see, when you come to the navigation bar, I'm trying to show something here. This is orbit to rotate, right? To rotate. Now there's an arrow under. Once you click it, will give you different options. See free orbit. See orbit, free orbit, continuous orbit. Now, I always like to do the continuous orbit at times. Now, you know, when you're drawing, you want to think, but you want to look at it, but you want it to be revolving around on its own, you just pick continuous orbit. Once I click and turn a little, see, it's rotating for me. This is continuous orbit. If I hold it my left mouse, drag down. It depends on the speed, the swiftness, the speed with which you drag, and the distance you drag through will determine how fast it will go. If I drag, you can see I drag with a with a speed swiftly. Now, if I drag a little, you can see it's moving little, depending on the direction I want it to rotate to. If I hold and move this way, okay, see, you can see it's moving. So you can just rotate your drawing and observe, see where you need to. Then when you're done, you escape. Once you click on escape, you realize that your rotation is scattered again. So you have to see, I told you to always look at your three places: visual controls, UCS, and command line. Now let's start from bottom top. My command line is empty. That means no action is on. Then my user coordinate system is not a word coordinate system. Now I don't have to do anything about that yet. First, then I'll come to my visual control. See, it's showing me customized view. So I have to click here and take it back to Southwest isometry. Now my user coordinates orientation is okay. I don't need to temper. Then I'll come back and change it to 2D wireframe to see what I have done. Now, the next thing we're going to draw, I'm going to leave the pyramid for us. The pyramid is a concept of drawing the cone. You can open up top radius, you can close top radius. So that's our exercise. Let's go and practice the pyramid as our exercise, right? If you can draw the cone, you should be able to draw the pyramid. I'll go straight to wedge. Now the wedge, start with the concept of your rectangle, right? It's asking me to specify first corner of wedge. I'll just click somewhere here. It's asking me to specify the other corner point. I can use that same concept of a rectangle. Now I'll just come, okay, let me just type L, enter, right? Okay, sorry, L, enter, aha. So that it's going to follow a straight path. So I'll type, let me type 200. Then my width will be 100. You can see from where I clicked, where you click first time is where the arrows will start from, not the opposite direction. Where you started from is where the arrows will start from. Now, this concept of this, many of us have seen our car garages. You drive in, your drive-in, that's the concept you use to draw this. You draw your drive-in, where you're driving into the house, right? Notice that. Now, the next one we're going to draw is your torus, your tube, your vehicle, your bicycle tube, your car tube, your donut. Yes, many of us like donut, the donut you are eating, donut. So when we click on torus, specify first corner, specify center, we click on, let's click somewhere. Now it's asking us for either diameter, for radius or diameter. So I'm going to put a radius of 100, still 100, enter. Now it's asking me for tube radius. The first one was the radius of the torus. The next one now is the tube radius. So this tube radius, I'm going to put 10. So for this, you can also edit by property, right? We can go and practice all that, editing by property also. So those are the primitives that we have drawn. Now, let's do our first modeling tool, extrude. Now, whatever shape you need to draw, you can draw basic shapes and extrude them into 3D by modeling them into 3D, right? So we're going to do just that, only extrude today. We'll stop there. Then you go and practice all these primitives. Try to arrange them to give you desired shapes or desired construction. Like this first one I did here now. if you look at it realistically now, you see I've created something here, right? So you go and practice all the tools, but I'll just do the extrude. I mean, yes, the extrude to give us something to look forward to. Now, every drawing, most of the drawing softwares have extrude. Every drawing software that deals with 3D drawing have extrude as a tool. So by the time you know how to use this extrude very well, that means basically there's no 3D drawings that you'll not be able to do with extrude. You'll be able to do any of your drawings using extrude. So now we have seen all the basic shape. I'm going to draw a pentagon and extrude a pentagon. We drew pentagon when we're teaching polygons, right? So I'll come here to my ribbon. Now I can come to draw. If you are still not used to the icons, just come to draw, come to polygon, number of sides. I'll put 5, enter. It's asking me to, I'll just click here. It wants it either inscribe or circumscribe. I'll leave it as inscribed. Enter. It's asking me for the radius. I'll put radius of 200. Enter. Now, once I've put that, I'll come here, extrude. In the modeling, you see extrude, but there's an arrow pointing down where we have other tools there. So I'll click on extrude, then I'll select, right click, enter. You see, it's following me now, it's asking me, so I can give it a value. So let me put 500, 400 for the height, enter. You can see from 2D, we've entered 3D. So your 2D was not a waste of time. Your 2D was actually needed for you to do your 3D. I think we'll stop here for this class. Thank you very much and God bless you.